double spaced with like a giant border.
And the last page is just an annotated bibliography for the one line that I wrote.
Mm-hmm. The border. All right. I'm going to go ahead and mute everyone. We're going to get started. Let's line up. Get ready to bow in. You wore your blue gi too. Look at that. I think we look fantastic.
First time.
All right, team. Ready, stance, tension, bow in. I'm going to get us started with a few drills that we did this morning that I really liked. I thought they were very helpful for a question that we had from George. And then I'm going to let Professor Todd take over with some other exercises, and then we'll come back for the Q&A. All right. So right here, everyone just find your space kind of on the mat. And I'm going to do these in sort of a random order. Okay. But we're going to be working on bridging off of one foot. And what I want to see right here is just bridging up. All right. And then trying to keep your hips up and lift the other leg. Okay. So I'm posting on, if you can see, like the balls of my feet, not my heels. Right here, just kind of lift and lift, just to engage the muscles, keeping the hips off the ground, and then we'll get into some different movements. So let's just do this for less than a minute. All right, now let's take this up, and what we're gonna do is extend, touch the foot, come back to the other shoulder, but keep the leg off the ground, turn, stretch the leg through, come back to the shoulder, all right? So on my hips up the whole time, only one foot is touching, turn, like I'm doing a hook sweep, your foot can touch, come back, stay up, turn, stretch that leg through, come back. Go ahead and give that a try, team. Left foot only right now. Isis, what are you doing? I don't see you doing anything.
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I saw the very end of what you were doing. Can you just do it like real quick?
Oh, because you were late?
I was.
Okay, fine. Be on time. Keep going, team. Still doing left foot. Okay, actually, let's go ahead and switch to the right foot now, all right? And I'll go ahead and demonstrate. So right here, one foot is down, the other foot's up the whole time. We're gonna lift the hips, keep the hips up and this one leg up the whole time. We turn, step, come back to the shoulders, turn, stretch the leg through, and bring it back. Always on one foot, hips always off the ground. Rotating from shoulder to shoulder, stretching the leg. Begin. Good. You can let the foot touch the floor after you stretch it over. Whether you're going under your leg or over your leg, you can let it touch the floor. Nice work. Very good. Good. All right. This next one's going to be a little silly looking, but we're going to try it anyway. It's going to be like an Irish dance sort of funny looking thing, but it's really going to help you in your sweeping power, right? So again, we're coming up here, and I want you to switch your legs, right? Like this, kind of fast, all right? And when you switch, the leg that's up is hooked. It's not relaxed. It's like a hook sweep. And then back. And then what I want to see you do is move, right? Just like this. And then what I can do is actually kind of turn a little bit toward one shoulder and then the other. All right, but try to move. Boom. So I'm moving in like a half circle one way, then the other. Let's try that for a minute. That one will fatigue you pretty quickly, but let's see it. Go. Good, hips up high. Make sure the foot that is in the air is flexed. Toes are pointed back at your face. Really engaging that leg. Good. Okay, next single leg drill. All right, we're going to do a shrimp and then a return, right? Just like this. So it's a shrimp drill this way, and then a return like kicking the leg. So similar to the movement we did. Oh, that's a big close up of my foot. I'll scoot back a little bit, right? So we're turning and then kicking the leg forward. Begin. Do just a little bit of that. Very nice. And then go ahead and switch to the other foot. Try to find strength and balance in each position. So slow the drill down, get that part down, then do it pretty fast. Good, okay. Now, let's do this one. This one is a nice butterfly drill. A lot of times from the butterfly guard, I'm not always in a sitting guard position. Sometimes I'm lying on my back, still using my hooks. My hooks don't die just because my back is here. I still have some strength and power, right? So what I want to see from this position, my feet will be down. I'm going to roll to one side, lift up, right? Just like this, like I'm doing a hook sweep. I come back, place my foot down, lift up, like I'm doing a hook sweep. As I come back on the other side, lift up. And as I come back down, lift, right? Hook sweep, hip bump, hip bump. Hook sweep, hip bump, hip bump. That's the drill. Begin. Good, hips up high. Good, lift high on the hip bump. Very nice. About 30 more seconds. Keep working. Good, finish up. And let's do one more. Okay, so pay attention to this drill, right? So most of us have done what we call the wave drill, right? The wave is shoulder, stand, back to the hips. Shoulder, shoulder, stand, back to the hips. And a big part of that drill is lifting with my foot, like a lot of the movements we've been doing. I want you to try this. You can do it that way, by the way, right? But I want you to try it without putting your feet on the ground. So this little trick here, and I want you crossing your legs, imagining that you are in like a knee shield half guard sort of a game, okay? Still put your arm behind, but now you're gonna require a little more abs, a little more obliques right here to get the legs up. Extend, and when you get to the top, cross your legs the other way and roll to here. Again, here. Right? So legs crossed, and that makes it difficult. Right. There. Go ahead and brace with your hands. Cross here. If that proves to be a little too challenging, then you can try it with the legs uncrossed. But the challenging part is keeping them crossed all the way until the shoulders stand. Otherwise, just keep it traditional. The wave. Let's see who can do it. You got it, Philip? Let's see it. Let me see it. I missed that one. Do it again. Oh, you got it. But straighten those legs up at the top. Caleb, I can't tell. I think Sam's got it. Very nice.
Nah.
Caleb, Sam did better than you. Michelle, you just kind of a silhouette. I'm trying to make out the shadow. That's pretty good. Oh, point the feet up. Yes. Nice work. Isis, let me see you do it one more time. Oh, you're going for the challenging way. Curl the legs in. Oh, that way's tough.
Isis. You can do it. You can do it.
Nice.
There you go. Not bad.
Very good. Very good. 30 more seconds, team. 30 more seconds. Keep working this one. Take your time. Don't rush it. Just work on the form. Technique and form come before speed and power. So work on that. If you need to modify, uncross the feet, add a little more support, do that first.
Michelle with the no feet, almost.
Nice. Good job, Philip. And Star and Michael Quinn, I can't see you guys. I'm not sure if y'all are doing the drills or not. If not, you've got some homework whenever you have some space to work with. Good. Okay, time. So listen up. I'm going to have Professor Todd take over and do some drills now with you guys, little exercise routine. Listen, when you are learning a new drill, like for some of you, some of those movements may have been new, write them down, especially the challenging ones, the ones that made you like lose your balance and or fatigue rather fast. You just felt like you weren't quite able to do. That gives you a goal. It gives you something to shoot for, because all of these movements are will strengthen our jiu-jitsu. They will help our sweeping game, especially those single leg bridges and turns. All of those are really going to make your sweeping game twice as powerful, right? But you've got to get really comfortable in those awkward twists and turns and stabilize your core while you're moving around, balancing on one foot. And by the way, it's not only going to help you with your sweeping game, it's going to make you that much more difficult to sweep. Because when somebody is sweeping you, right, and they got their leg underneath you and they've got your arm trapped, your ability to twist your core and find balance in an awkward position is what's going to keep you from just getting pancake flipped over, right? So practice those awkward movements. Don't give up on them. find some time, say I'm going to get that one-legged movement here. I'm going to get it just right with control and practice it until it just becomes natural. And then when you start sparring again, you're going to realize how well you've adapted. Like a quick story, Jorge was telling me, like, he trained with Professor Jace. You guys know he's a black belt here, and neither of them have been sparring anyone. And George has only been doing these drills. And then he sparred. He said that Jace's reaction, Jace's the black belt member, his reaction was like, "Man, you've gotten a lot better." Well, all he's been doing is asking questions specific to troubles that he's had and working drills that are related to those movements. And I think that mentality is very important, because I think what a lot of students have during this time as well, if we're not sparring, we must be going backwards. And I really disagree with the logic. I think this is a time that you're sort of called to really like fire up the part of your brain that has to visualize and imagine executing these techniques. And if you're doing that, when you come back to sparring, plus all the fun and excitement that goes with that, you're going to be really surprised at how well you've gotten during this time, provided that you're coming to the classes, you're doing the drills, putting in the time, sweating, making sure that you're in shape. All right, so just keep that mentality with every drill that you do. And I'm going to turn it over to Professor Todd. I'll be back in a minute.
All right, team. So my goal, I'd like to try to raise our heart level. So I know we just did a couple of movements right there, but I just want to make sure that we're nice and loosened up. So let's get up on our feet. Let's start off with forward arm circles. And everybody up and begin. Let's go. Backwards. Let's go. In and out. Up and down. Okay, right here, side to side, controlled, loosen up that back. Side to side, right here. Good, with your hips, circle this way. Other direction. Good, with your knees, put your knees, feet together, circle to this way, let's go. Circle the other way. Excellent. Spread your feet, lean this way. You can put heel up and chest up. Let's go the other way. Now I want you to go back and forth, let's go. Very good. Right here, stand up. Circle the neck to the right. Let's go. To the left. Very good. Up and down. Right here, give yourself a little resistance. Use your thumbs to resist a little bit. All right. So here's my goal. We're going to go 5 minutes straight, kind of at a medium to heavy pace, 30 seconds per drill, and try to mimic what I do. Okay, here we go. So we're going to have a seat on the ground. That's my position. Ready, side to side. Let's go. 30 seconds has begun, guys. Go at a good pace. Control your breathing. Let's try to pick up our heart rates. Let's go side to side. We're 15 seconds in, 15 to go. Let's go. We got 5 seconds. We're going to follow up with hip bumps, alternating sides. And begin, hip bumps. $15 seconds. Keep it going. Looking good, team, looking good. That's a 5 seconds. We're gonna do triangles after this. From your back. And begin. Let's go. Explode them up. Shoot those hips high. Ten seconds. We're gonna do hip bump. I mean, not hip bumps. Shrimps. Side to side. 5 seconds. Trying to say hip escapes is what I was trying to say. Ready, begin. Side to side with those shrimps. We're gonna do kick the mouth drill in about 10 seconds. We start from S mount, kick, and then we're gonna come back. Ready? S mount position. Kick the mouth drill. Up, kick, rewind. Then the other side. Let's go. About 10 seconds. We're gonna do like a modified mounted arm bar. Just mimic what I do if you haven't seen that yet. Finish up this one. Go ahead. And then right here, guys. If you haven't begun, go ahead. Less than 10 seconds. We're gonna stand up in base, a technical stand up. If you can break fall, great. If not, ease yourself to the ground. Ready? Technical stand up, back down. Alternating sides. Less than 10 seconds. We're gonna shadow wrestle from the feet here shortly. If your space is somewhat limited, just focus on short, choppy steps around your immediate area. You don't have to move fast or like a huge space. Ready? In your stance, let's go. Move those feet. A little forward, side to side, keep the knees bent. Add some feints. You can do some little mini circles. Caleb, you and Sam can circle with each other, facing each other like this, one way or the next. And then get back into independent shadow wrestling. Knees bent. Good, yeah, work together. You have a partner. All right, look at me. Down block right here. Back to your split dance. Down block. Down block. Down block. Down block. Shoot. Again, shoot. One more, shoot. Down block. Down block. Down block. Shoot. Shoot. Okay, 30 seconds, burpees, go. It's our last one before we take a break. First round. Twenty seconds. Ten seconds. In 3, 2, 1, time. Walk it off. That was round 1. Breathe. Take about a minute off. Grab a sip if you have some water nearby. But don't just stay in place. Let your heart kind of ease down and pace back and forth wherever you're at. If your space is limited, just walk in place. But don't just stop and do nothing. Okay, start making your way back. Laying your backs, guys. Make circles with your toes, circles towards the outside. Circles towards the inside. Outside. Inside. Very good. Feet and knees together. Up, twist. Up, twist the other side. Side to side. Back and forth.
Good. Nice.
2 minutes, team. 2 minutes. S-mount position. Kick out. Drill. Kick, kick, S-mount. Let's go. Very good. Tuck your knees into your chest. Roll back and forth. Simulate that you're catching a guillotine. Grab your lock. Fall towards the side of the elbow. Come back up. Go to the other side. Simulate guillotine. Lock. Up. Last drill, guys. All fours right here. Sit through, side to side. Sam and Caleb, you can just kind of, you don't have to put your foot all the way out, just go right here. Everybody else, if you got the space, kick and sit through all the way. We got 20 seconds. Finish strong, team. Pick up the pace, 10 seconds, let's go. 3, 2, and time. Catch your breath.
Good. All right, recover everyone. Oh, Sam and Nariam joined when I was away. Good work, good work. Nariam, you have to turn your screen on, buddy. We need to see you. There you are.
From Fairtex, on location at Fairtex.
No, that's not his garage. That's his training
His bachelor pad. No.
his master pad, yeah. Somebody behind you doing the rabbit ears? There we go. Thought I saw
Good
that.
one, Dad.
Really good one. All right. So we've got some time here. We had some really great questions this morning that led to a lot of kind of branching off into other areas of the game that started with something very simple. Like I always say, don't ever be shy about asking something very fundamental or very basic, because we can always elaborate and we'll always find value that we can share with everybody. Sam, is that a Brazil, Japan? What shirt is that? I know I've seen that before. Is that the Kimura Elio challenge? Oh, that's a cool shirt. Very nice. Awesome. All right, so let's open things up for some questions that you guys would like to ask so that we can get going. Michael Quinn, are you giving a thumbs up to Sam's shirt or because you have a question?
I had a question. My question, could you talk about concepts as far as let me check. Can you talk about concepts of using the open guard to pull your opponent back into the closed guard?
Yes, gladly. So that can be a pretty broad topic, right?
Yes.
Let's just imagine. So everyone plays a different game. My open guard game, if they're standing, is a lot of collar sleeve. I like to play a shallow de la Hiva hook, and I like my other foot to kind of migrate from like inner knee to hip to shoulder while I lean this way. I want to be extra heavy like this, right? So my thought about if I want to get to close guard, I never want to go for it when he's got his elbows and knees kind of connected and like straighten that right leg and he pops my foot off. See, now if I try to go for a closed guard, I've just given him like a stack pass, right? Just by doing that, right? He can pummel his arms under pretty easy. What I want to do is stretch him out in a way that I feel like I can threaten some other options, right? So what am I threatening here? Well, an omoplata, triangle, right? A couple other things stretching, come back to where he feels that he's got to work his arms inside to kind of just protect, right? And then I can maybe work that back in. So if you like the closed guard and you find yourself in the open guard, my main advice is that you don't insist on going for the closed guard. You need to offset your opponent's weight so that you're threatening either their balance, a submission opportunity, or both. Because let me look at it from a top view, right? If Professor Todd has just some grips, let's just say like here and here, right? And he just wants to, like, he's just really uncomfortable. He wants to go to close guard right now. And he tries to throw it. I feel like he just gave me what I wanted, either a stack or an opportunity to split between, because his legs had no control over my body. He just went for it because he's like, I've got to get to the closed guard where things make more sense. So you have to find comfort in those areas, right? So if he's controlling again and he's got to see that he starts stretching me, well, now I've got to fight and work my way back. And now if I'm balancing and then he puts me in close guard, I actually helped him by balancing myself, right? So he forced me to expose that part of the body that is the closed guard, right? Like between my underarms and my hips. He kind of forced that open because I needed my arms and my legs to balance. And then he took the closed guard. What you can think about is your open guard needs to be threatening attacks and sweeps, and your reaction to those reactions, I guess, like what you do in place of their counter is to take the next position. So if you sweep them, great. You put them in a submission opportunity, great. If they counter everything and you see an opportunity to change your positions for something you like, take it. But you're going to have to play that game. And I see far too many people, especially, kind of at like a beginner belt level, white belt, even, blue belt, sometimes being too desperate for the position that we like the best. Like, I mean, if I'm in guard, it's gotta be like, close guard, right? That's the only place I feel comfortable. Well, that's going to cause you some trouble. We need to be comfortable in all the guards and use them to find our way into maybe a position that we favor, but not insisting on it if it's not there. Does that, do those concepts kind of make sense?
They did. But I was more talking about because the open guard is a range thing. You can use it in various ranges.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to understand that concept. When you pull away, when you push them closer, when you pull them into close guard, when you want to take them back out to like a far open guard.
Oh, okay. All right. So, all right, I think I understand a little bit what you're saying. If I'll put it this way, like, let's go from closed guard to open guard, right? If I'm in the closed guard, and let's turn this way just a little bit, and everything I'm trying to do is met with strong posture and good arm position by my opponent. I feel like, man, there's no drag, there's no break in the posture, and he's just settling back, putting pressure on my hips, or maybe, you can imagine like maybe he was standing too, and I feel like it's even more pressure on my legs. If I feel my feet starting to weaken, I don't want to be hanging on by one toe and then it pops open, right? Because the Professor Todd is putting pressure to like break, like start to work back, and I'm fighting. By the time my feet break, he's already going to be pressuring my hips, like in a way that like is not going to let me have the guard I want, because he will have the step ahead on me, right? Versus if I'm holding here and he starts to do that, and I'm like, you know what? He's going to do that. I need to move myself right away into a functional guard that has me controlling the game, not him controlling my hips. So I'll get here and I'll start moving there right away. So now, if he tries to, press forward or control my hips, he can't control my hips like he did before. I'm moving all over the place. And then if I want to come back to close guard, now look what I did. Now that I've come back in, his hands were occupied with all the things I was doing. Now I can start to drag and work a close guard that is better for me. So sometimes we open the guard, move to an open guard game in order to reposition a better close guard than before. When they've got great posture position, either lapels and sleeve or standing or just really good hip control, and you feel that you are using too much energy just to hold your own legs closed, that's time to open up, move about, look for sweep, attack opportunities, just like what I said before. And then, yeah, I will opt to bring them back to the close guard when I've threatened their balance. And now once I brought him in, he doesn't get to put his hands right back where he had him in that good posture. Now I can maybe drag him or break him down a little bit closer. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. The goal is to be comfortable in different guards, right? And
Yeah,
to use them and not always insist on one. But if your game is closed guard, but someone shuts it down, you might have to open the guard in order to start to play a new game that might ultimately bring you back to what you really wanted to begin with.
Thank you. I wanted to better utilize open guard to take advantage of it more than anything.
Yeah, but you know what? You bring up a really good point, and guys, like the concept. I think some people, they think that once they open the guard, they have to just play open guard. It's like, oh, we've moved past the closed guard, like it's a natural progression. No, you can bring them right back into the closed guard. In fact, it's sometimes very frustrating when you're in a battle of like the person's really trying to pass and you're fighting and they're figuring out your de la rivas and they're breaking grips and they start to feel like they can get somewhere, and then you put them back in the closed guard. I mean, watch their face when you do that. Like if you have a 3-minute exchange where you're both battling and you put them back in closed guard, and I've been like the one who's done that and then been put in the closed guard too. And I feel like my face is just like, oh, like, are you kidding me? you gotta start over again. Like I did all that work and now I have to just work to break the guard just to try to do that again. So that's a great way of thinking about using the closed guard and the open guard together. Sometimes it's a way to fatigue your opponent, just pull them back in and make them work again to try to break that guard open. But yeah, really good question.
Thank
You're welcome. What else do we have, team?
There was a move that we did in class a long time ago. I don't know what it's called, but you're facing, like I would be facing you, and you're like on all fours, and I grab your chin and like move it and hold it. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, sure, I think. Is it like the person's in bottom turtle position and you're on top of them and you're holding the chin?
Yeah.
Yeah. What I think you're talking about is just what we call a chin strap control that we use from like a front headlock position.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. And it's not really a submission, although you can quickly transition to like a guillotine, a collar choke, a anaconda choke, a Darce choke, and you can use it to take the person's back. But the most important part about this is not just the hand on the chin position, because that alone doesn't do very much, right? You have to close the gap between your hand and your shoulder, buried between the back of their shoulder blades, their neck area. So I'll demonstrate just real quick, right? So when I'm in this position, I'm gonna mostly, let me put this on the bigger screen. Hold on. All right, so right here, I'm gonna mostly talk about the shoulder position, right? So the hand is just cupping the chin and pulling it to, right? So my shoulder is right there. And my other, I'm gonna do it on this side, it's easy. My shoulder is here. My other hand is pulling this arm toward me. Super important. Because if you do this right, it's gonna be uncomfortable. They're gonna wanna get away, and their strength is when they push their hands on the floor, they can kind of push away. So you take that arm out. This hand is on the chin, right? And then I'm driving my shoulder down this way. Right? So the other thing I add to that is I circle to pull them off of their strength. We talk a lot about posture, but posture is not just inside the guard. I can have good posture when I'm on bottom side mount because my spine is straight. My opponent can have good posture in the turtle by keeping a straight back like this. But if I rip the arm out and I pull them to the side, I sort of bend that spine and weaken their spinal posture. And that changes everything about my strength. That makes me way stronger. So you cup the chin, shoulder is driving down, and your hips are like up in the air like this. You're not here. You're putting all the weight on your shoulder and you're ripping their arm away from them to weaken their ability to get away from you. And if you practice that and you do that right and you keep whipping them down, then that's one of the most uncomfortable positions to try to escape from. Sometimes, like the best guys at this are wrestlers. You see wrestlers that, like freestyle wrestlers play this game and they just break their opponents down over and over and it's exhausting. You just don't want to go anywhere when you're in the bottom position. Just sit there and hope that they change the position. Is that the position that I'm talking about though, that you're talking about, Michelle?
That's absolutely it. So after you do that and you're weakening them, so how would you follow that up? Like once you got that, then what? Like what would you do?
So there's a few things I can do. I mostly, like if I'm going with Professor Todd, my chances of catching him in a submission from there are pretty low because he's very aware, right? I would rather get a better position. So a lot of times from there, I'm holding, I'm controlling, I break this down, right? And then if he's up like this, I'm gonna keep yanking to pop him down. Once he's down, I'll switch my hand. This is blocking his arm, so he can't do anything when I go to the back. Control and break the posture down so that they're in a weakened state. transition to the back. Now, there's nothing wrong with attacking there. The thing to consider about attacking the neck from the top turtle north-south, that's what I would call it, north-south turtle position, is it's different than like a guillotine in the guard, where you got your legs wrapped around them for extra leverage and you're already close. If I release that arm and go for it, they've got a lot of wiggle room. So I'm releasing all my pressure. So many times I prefer to keep that pressure until I exchange the position for the back. That's what I would prefer to do if I were training with a good black belt, or just, anybody who's at a high level and aware of that position. I feel better, my chance of better taking a stronger position like the back.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
All right. Great question. Really strong position. Who wants to chime in next? Oh, is that all for the day?
I have one question, Coach.
Yes, sir.
Like how the what's it called? Like Jay, he likes that deep half guard with that lapel between the legs.
Yeah.
What is your go-to to get out of that position? I know like the best way is to prevent it from happening, but like what if you already got caught?
When you go with Jay might be the physically strongest person at the school, arguably, right? He's a strong dude. So if you let a strong person, like a physically strong person, get into their strongest position, they're probably going to get what they want. So the prevention is a more important answer than just how do you deal with it. I'm going to show you both, right? But you cannot have the attitude of like, just, well, I know I should prevent it, but he gets it anyway. No, that means you're not preventing it. You've got to prevent it more often. When I go with Jay and he puts me in that position, he sweeps me at least half the time. And I'm a higher level, right? But he'll still sweep me because he's stronger than me and that's his best position. So you don't let bigger, stronger people get into their best position. They're going to get what they want. But let's take a look at what's happening. So many times, what's happening, he's shooting it and he's really diving under and trying to go for this leg. He wants to get here, okay? Now, let's rewind that for a moment, right? Go back. Just want to make sure we have a good angle here. Turn head pointed toward the camera. In that initial approach, as he's diving under, I step my foot as far away as I can. Here. And he's going under and I'm staying away. And I'm postured up and I'm putting my knee right on the sternum and I'm staying tall. So he wants to get all the way under here, but I'm backing away, right? And then I'll start to work either cut through, but he never lets me get the cut through. Many times I end up backstepping. If I backstep, right? If I backstep, I killed his deep half guard. Doesn't mean there's not other things he can do. What I prefer here, he's so strong. Thumb in the collar, choking here, working back, and getting my knee to the floor. See this? Now I step over, now I can start to cross face, and eventually I can unravel and take that. So, for prevention, exaggerate the prevention. Take a wildly evasive step away from what he's going for, because he's going to get it. He's going to get me. He's going to get all the black belts here. He's going to sweep us, right? I was talking this morning, George had a question about deep half guard, and I told him to watch Bernardo Faria because he's the best of the best. And he's Jay's role model, right? Bernardo Faria, every single time he fights, everybody knows he's going to pull guard and he's going to work to his half guard. And guess who he swept? Shanji, Lovato, Uchecha, Adolfo. He has swept all those guys. So you can't let him get into that position. Now, let's talk quickly about when you're in the position, okay? So when I find myself in that deep half guard position, all the way underneath, like this, right? Well, with Jay, I can't back up very well. If I were able to get some separation and get my leg back to like a crossbody position, you see how my left leg is here? And I can actually start working on that hand and scooting myself back. That's how I deal with it many times, but not with Jay, because he does not ever let you do that, right? So we'll try to get kind of tall, because what he wants to do is give this collar, hand it off to this, and break my posture down. If he gets this, I start thinking about my guard, because I think he's going to sweep me, right? So from the onset, I try to stay postured up. So like before he gets this, right? So as he's kind of going for it, no, I'm here. I mean, he might get it a little bit, but I don't want him to break me down. I'm here like this. Now I look to push the head, right, and step over. This is how you try to get past it. If you step to the other side of the head, you are in a reverse half guard, crossbody position. See how I'm kind of holding the belt with this hand? See that? Turn this way. And I'm in this reverse half guard. But now I can stay kind of heavy, and I've got some leverage for pushing and stretching these legs apart and passing. Or he's real strong, keep it again. Sometimes this doesn't happen. So cross face, knee to the floor, back to that position I was saying to begin with. So look, from this, let me just show an idea from the half guard, right? If he's just kind of turning aside, back stepping, or stepping across puts me in the same position. If I can't get the back step, I step across the head and I work from here. And I look, and I don't rush this because I'll get swept. I stay heavy, and if he starts rocking, you know, here, I just stay heavy. I control this leg, and I look for a chance to kick that free. Very good question. There's usually, unless you catch him slipping, there's usually not a quick escape from Jay's deep half guard. It's usually going to be find balance, hold your ground, and keep your ground until you see an opportunity to either back step, or if he gets you all the way in the deep half guard, you got to step over the head and you settle into that reverse half guard where the opposite leg is caught between his guard. How does that, how do you feel with that? Pretty good?
That was a good breakdown. I like that.
Good, good. Yeah, that's a good question, because this morning, like the whole drilling sequence that we did, and the whole question was about deep half guard offense. So this is a nice transition. And I'm going to tell you guys what I told everyone this morning. I said, I didn't play deep half guard until brown belt, and I didn't like it that much. I still don't like it much personally. Not that it's not effective. It's very effective. It's just one of those games that I'm not real attracted to. Like, oh, I love playing the deep half guard, right? You don't have to make it your favorite thing either. But if you do not understand what's happening to you, and you get to black belt and you never understand what's happening in the deep half guard, and the first blue belt is pretty good at it, it's going to sweep you. You got to understand the mechanics of this position. It does work. It's really strong. All right, guys, we are out of time. Man, that went by really quickly. So thank you guys for joining. And go ahead.
Just one last thing,
Yes, sir.
just real quick. So if you guys noticed the theme in the last couple of classes we talked about, is we had like Marcelo Garcia. He was with the arm drag, and like that was always happening. And Jay's idol, he's always doing the deep half guard, and they're still scoring on that. And the thing that we always say in competition is, it's like you don't have to. You should be familiar with everything, but have confidence in your one move that no matter what, they can know it's coming, but you're so good at it that they can't stop it. And it's been proven at the highest of levels that, guys, you just train persistently, just work your setups, and you have that move that nobody can stop. Jordan Burroughs in wrestling, everyone knows the double leg is coming, but he's still taking people down. Marcelo with that arm drag, that's his move, but he knows other moves to back that up, and that usually opens up his favorite move as well. So have confidence in your moves, guys. So I just wanted to throw that, just if you see a common theme, what we've talked about the last couple of days, someone with their favorite moves continuously scoring.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And it's like the other day we we're talking about, having your go-to, and do you have to change your game from like blue to purple to black belt? No, you add to it. But if you're really good at a move at blue belt, you're going to be really good at that move at black belt. So don't ever think that that's your blue belt move. That's your move. That's your game. Just make it better and better. We got to start the Muay Thai class, but thank you guys so much for joining. Awesome questions. Great effort. We'll see you again tomorrow, everyone. Thank you, team. Oh, we got to bow out. Sorry. Forgetting my own rhythm here. All right, team, right here. Ready, stance. Feet together, tension. Wow. About 2 more minutes. Start the Muay Thai class.
Once we start getting going on like some philosophical topics, we can start talking all day.
Yeah, no.